She has been passionate about relationships and human connections, as well as psychology and human behavior. She is a global HR professional and a leader with 12 plus years of experience working in various industries, be it retail, healthcare, BPO, IT. And she has been associated with major brands like Tata Group, PVR Group, Pulse Secure. And as a global HR professional, she loves to collaborate with people to create a learning organization and drive a culture of collaboration through employee experience movements in various HR segments. HR is her core passion. And she has also authored her first book in Jan 2021, which is titled My Journey to Love and Peace. Small gestures go a long way. And it is available on Amazon and Notion Press. You might be wondering who the guest is for today. She's none other than Nimisha. Let's get to know more about her career journey and also talk about nuances of HR role and the importance of employee experience for an organization. Along with that, we will get to know more details about her book. Stay tuned. Hello. Hi there. Welcome to the Guiding Voice podcast series, the Guiding Voice for a Better Future. This podcast is to help professional students, IT employees, and entrepreneurs to shape their careers. Dear listeners, in every episode, we interact with thought leaders or industry experts or academicians or coaches across the globe to drive some insightful conversations that will help each one of our listeners learn great things. In addition to that, we also share an interesting trivia or a fun fact about the IT world or technology towards the end. So stay tuned till the end. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is your host Navin Samala, and I'll be going solo in the absence of Sudhakar. So today we are going to discuss a topic: evolution of HR role and importance of employee experience. And we are pleased to welcome Nimisha to our show.
Thank you, Naveen. Thank you and honoring me to be part of your show. And I'm truly grateful and privileged to be part of today's session and looking forward to our conversation.
Amazing, Nimisha, and it's a pleasure hosting you. Let's get started. Here is my very first question. So, can we briefly talk about your 12 plus years of career journey so far?
So, talking about my career journey, first of all, I would like to obviously, I want to think from the terms of in the eyes of inclusion. That is, the way I was raised by my family. So, I am really thankful and privileged to be born and brought up across various cultures of the country in India. Be it Punjab, Maharashtra, or Jammu. And that had helped me to be surrounded with the people. I don't want to get back into the details of my career because definitely you can go back to my LinkedIn account and check all the history. So I don't want to bore you all with the same data which goes across. I would rather tell you about how it has evolved me through where I am today. So as I was telling you, I have been surrounded with the people and the culture. So that had made me to study about the human behavior, the interest in various cultures, various people coming from the various background. And that's how I started my career in human resource by studying MBA into HR. And I got into the first type organization. So I started with recruitment and then moved into a organization. So there I learned the basic nuances of HR. So, that is the basic thing about how an HR is being set up. Then I got an opportunity to work with various other organizations like retail, and then I got to understand about more on the employee engagement part, how about the technology, and that's how I now towards the later part of my career, that is today. Now I'm involved in strategic role leading the global team, and it's more to do with creating the moments of experience. So that's how my journey has been evolved in terms of HR career.
I think your roots have great influence on what you are doing today, and you are passionate about what you are doing. In fact, you mentioned about this diversity and inclusion part of being brought up in Jammu, Maharashtra, and have that nuances and exposure of various cultures, and probably that is making you a successful HR leader. And now, definitely, we are going to publish your LinkedIn profile as part of the show notes where our audience can look into it. And you said right now you are on the verge of growing as a strategic HR, BP, and all. And this brings me the next question in terms of how this HR as a function. I don't know if I can call it as a function, because these days people say don't call us as a function. We are integral part of the organization, and also I want to play safe here. So how this HR has evolved, like starting from a business function versus business partner, and now we're talking about being a strategic partner in the organization. Can you shed some light around that?
Oh, that's a good question because the basic thing, as you touched upon, whether it is a business integration, so I would say, end of the day, the businesses are not just built on products or services or machines or technology, but it's by the people, right, who sell or promote those products and services and then use these, machines or technology. So definitely HR has evolved, or we can call various terms as disrupted, or has gone through or the transformation, or has evolved through various roles. That is earlier being from personal management. I mean, because it's a professional forum, so everyone knows about it. That earlier it was a personal management where the HR role was more towards on the administrative side. So if we have to put it as it's a technology show, right? You also bring in the technology. So I would term it as HR 1.0. Okay. And then we moved on to HR 2.0. That is more towards where it was an internet boom. So in HR also we have brought in various technology like this. We say that ATS, applicant tracking system. So there were various tools, ERP tools, where it was integrated to, and it followed that time, the era followed more on process efficiency, increasing the process and efficiency. And now I think we all have seen that HR, who was the backseat of the organization, at least in from past 1.5 years, in the that HR has taken the front seat and driving the business. So that brings into what we have reached to HR 3.0 version, where it is more on increasing or developing the leaders, increasing the productivity, the performance of the organization, and creating. Now we have more and more millennials coming in, and the best part of the millennials or the coming generation, that there is so much of awareness. They are aware about themselves and awareness, so they're very much aligned to what they need, what they want. So it is very important as an HR also that we align the needs of the organization, the needs of an employee or an individual to the organization, and that's where the HR 3.0 is going to play a role.
I think that's a great summary about 1.0, 2.0, and 3.0. And as you rightly mentioned, now HR is on the boardroom, okay, along with the other CXOs, and playing a very crucial role in terms of enhancing the productivity of employees, because employees are the backbone of the organization and all. And this is something very exciting. And this brings me to my next question in terms of the outlook of the future. Like, what kind of changes can we expect in the HR function in the near future?
So, of course, we have started, witnessing the change to a certain extent, though only some of the corporates have already started. But the major thing, what I would say, is since the role is changing, the technology is changing, right? So that brings that we need to reskill as an HR function or as an HR professional. We need to reskill, and when I say reskill, that also means we need to realign our thinking. Okay, so when we say about thinking, again, the first thing which comes is that we have to think from the agile methodology, because we don't know what change it is going to be. So as soon as you are quick and adaptable, you are ready to be on the safe place, though we are still not known because it is unknown. But the sooner you adopt the agile methodology, that is a great. The second thing is about the technology savvy, because HR was a part of where you are more not towards system but more towards your people or paper. But now they with the introduction of technology tools, AI, which is being used in recruitment or various other functions in HR. So technology is very important. So the more you embrace technology, and it doesn't matter if you learn Python, being an HR professional, data analytics. So this is no more where it is a separate category, But the sooner we embrace technology or these analytics is where you can move ahead. And the third thing is what I think is the sooner it is, we call it as a growth mind. Now, what I say about growth mindset is not obviously we have moved from fixed to growth, but I would say that from being perceived as an administrative role, to how soon you can move into the innovation. As I mentioned in the HR 3.0, that is the future. Obviously, when we talk about the strategic or the innovation, it is more to do with how innovative you can come across, because the new millennials, the new Z, they are looking for something new, because my what satisfies me or what motivates me might not be the same for you, Naveen, right?
Yeah.
I might prefer flexibility, and for you it might be work, working from remote. You don't want to go to office, or it might money or the salary or the perks. So aligning to everyone's needs is definitely, so that brings how you can be a reactive, from reactive to proactive. That is how you can develop your future leadership, how you can build a culture of recognition. So, that is what I meant by how you are able to create an influence for impact, how you are able to create an impact for your employees. And definitely, what we are branded, or what what is seen is what we look forward for. So employer branding definitely comes into the picture in the coming days. So these are the things through which, definitely we have to change our mindset, realign our thinking.
Yeah, so it's more about quick adaptation to change, be an early adapter, and embrace the latest technologies. At least get to know the rudimentary aspects of technology and try to inculcate growth mindset and focus more on enhancing the employer branding as well as the employee experience. Now, this brings another question about employee experience, because if you treat your employees well, right,
Mhm.
half of the job is done, and they treat the customers well. That's what is a popular saying, right? So now let's talk about role of HR in enriching the employee experience, which in turn is going to have a direct impact on the customer experience.
So let me bring you, when you said, okay, employee experience, okay, the word itself has meaning. It has employee experience. So any experience, who knows better about an experience than the employee itself? Because when we are talking about the employee, right, what you need, better than I, right? So that comes to, as soon as I'm able to understand. So how do I know? Until unless I make you feel comfortable, I make sure that you are being heard, you are being felt comfortable, right? And that is the time when you would be willing to share your experience. For example, let me tell you a story, okay? I'm sure you would have gone to a beach, right? So when we go to any beach, right, because I'm a sea beach lover person, so I always bring that example. So whenever you have gone to any beach, or if you have visited, how many times do you really remember the beach, or do you remember the experience? With whom you went, which place you went, how you were escorted, whether through the restaurant, to the hotel, or what memories you have created, the pictures. So it is the experience what we bring in, not the beach, all right? So similarly, in when we talk about in organization, it is important that if you are seeking to create an employee experience that matters, it starts with creating an impact. So what impact are you trying to create? And that impact, it starts from the day employee applies for the job till the time the employees exit towards from the organization. So that's where the employee experience is being built. So it is a combination of complete employee life cycle, we say that, from the time that they have been here. So as I said, it is how the employee feels, how they can learn, how they go through the work. So the simple process, which to talk about what we can do as an HR or an organization, is the first thing. We all are now is looking forward to apply the jobs through phone. That's easier. So how effective your application processes, because 90% of them, they check their application process through phone. So if it is easier, how, because if it is very hassle, you have to fill all the forms, they might not be, because I'm talking about the upcoming generation. They want instant and quick. So the effective it is, the good it will be for creating the experience. The second, of course, the onboarding program. So how you are able to connect your the new joiners with the leadership, or how you are helping them to collaborate with your day-to-day activities, or that strengthens the relationship. And of course that helps them with the mentoring, coaching, the feedback, or the career development discussion. The fourth point, which I just started with, that is who knows better. So taking the feedback, the surveys. So whether it could be onboarding survey, how you felt at the time of onboarding, and the engagement survey, how inclusive are you? Do you feel your managers? Do you trust your managers? Do you feel you are being trusted? You are able to get all the tools. So all those engagement surveys are being read. That is the time where you are heard. And definitely, it is not just collecting the feedback, but also going back and letting them know that, hey, this is what we have received and this is where we are going to take an action. Otherwise, the new generation would say, we have already done it last time. Why should we do it again? Right? So until unless you go back and tell them that this is what we have received and we are taking the action, and this is what we will look into it, or this is not possible. So the more sooner you have the discussion, the performance discussion, because we need to have the critical feedback. The managers need to tell them it is not only the good, but how they can improve what they're doing good. So, and of course, as I mentioned earlier, culture of recognition. Who doesn't like to be appreciated, right? Who doesn't like to be rewarded? So, these are some of the things, and of course, exit interviews. So, the day you welcome them, the way you welcome them, with the same grace, it is important that we give the farewell also. We do the exit process as well, because they are the alumni of the organization. They are the brand ambassadors of the organization. So these are the small things how you can create an impact of employee experience.
These are some lovely insights, and it reminded me of my visit to Goa
Oh
when you
wow.
mentioned about the beach example and all. And I really loved the analogy in terms of I still cherish the paragliding stuff that we have done and the
Mhm.
time I spent with my family when that was, in fact, my first visit to Goa about
Okay.
2 to 3 years ago. And also talking about the employee experience, I worked for General Electric for about 11 years,
Oh wow.
and I still remember every moment that I spent with the company. Right, every day was a learning experience, and I would say 90% of what I am today is just because of the company.
Great. And
Right,
that brings me, when you mentioned about GE, okay, now we are saying that, okay, I mean, till now the HR, the assumption is that HR has to be people facing function, right? But that was the organization I'm talking about probably 5, 10 years back, where
yeah,
they said that it is invisible HR. And you had a screen on the desktop screen that I'm in it, I'm on it, or something. So, they had thought about that HR need not be visible, but the process should go on. So great. We're talking about experience. So that's what the beauty of experience is. It creates a impact. So how far we have come, the impact stays on your mind.
right, and you have to feel proud of working for a company, right? Because we often refrain from bad mouthing about our past employer when giving the interviews and all, but still it is there on back of your mind.
True.
So this particular employee experience needs to be consistent right from recruitment to exit or retirement, I would say. Ideally it should be retirement, but
Yeah.
these days we cannot retire in the same company for working for 40 years or 45 years and all.
True.
But this experience should be same as you mentioned during the exit policy, and it should be seamless on their last day of work as well. Yeah, those are some beautiful insights, and it brings me to another question, Nimisha.
Okay.
So which companies do you think are role models in terms of giving great employee experience?
Okay. See, if I have talking about great employee experience, again, few, I don't want to share the list because all of us are technology savvy. You put the list in the Google, you get a list out of it. So what I would say is there's a certification which the companies goes, that is the great place to work. So whichever companies, and I'm sure that great place to work has various certification in terms of retail or IT, healthcare, small sector, large sector. I mean, there are various categories. So any organization who has undergone these certification, they are definitely known for their culture, their process, their values. So feel free search for GPTW companies, and then you can apply for it because they are definitely known for the great employee.
Yeah, I'll be candid here. Like I like that framework GPTW and all, but that was a smart answer. Yeah, good one, Nimisha. And let's slightly shift the gaze and talk about your book. Can you share some nuances or the outline of what you have written in your book? And is that your first book or?
Yeah, of course. So
Yeah,
that has been my best gift I have gifted for this new year to
wonderful.
myself. So, of course, so the best part is obviously the first book, and this book talks about my self love, and of course, the human resource journey, which I'm passionate about. So, I believe, loving ourselves is just, it's more than a state of mind because it is just not in the thought, but it's daily habits or your daily actions that we get to do on our day to day lives. And why it is special? Because when I say about the journey, I was a very shy and introvert person. Though I've been born and brought up in various cultures, I've been inclined towards the human behaviors and cultures and connecting with people. I still had that mindset, where I felt I am not enough. And there are certain changes, as I said, right, when I started the journey of self love. So, those habits, those actions which I've taken, and that has changed my mindset to I am enough. So I felt this is going to be an inspiring read for all of you who want to enjoy the journey along with the moments of experience. And through this book, I also reveal much needed information for the company's success and of course for your well-being from the world of HR. Yeah, so through this book, the message what I want to give to all the readers is trust yourself and be yourself.
Fantastic. And first of all, congratulations for authoring your very first book. And I know it might be a pride moment. It's a humongous effort, right? Compiling a book, it will undergo several different iterations, reviews, and finally getting it published and seeing your work live in the form of a physical hard copy or nowadays the through Kindle e-readers or anything. So congratulations on that stuff. And I really love the concept. And now, so Nimisha, this has been a fantastic conversation so far, but we have been serious talking about your passionate HR topic and all. So I want to spice this up by asking a few rapid fire questions, and these
Okay.
answers needs to be very rapid, like cannot exceed 2 to 3 words. Try to confine it yourself. First of all, I want to get your buy-in. Are you okay with the rapid fire questions?
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
Okay, exciting.
Good. That's the spirit. Okay. Here comes my first bullet out of the rapid fire. What is the most adventurous thing that you have done so far?
Adventurous. The recent thing, I mean, you just asked me, so the recent thing which comes to my mind is I just booked the wrong flight. I mean, not flight, the date. Okay, and probably I booked in the afternoon, 12:30 or something. I was supposed to book for the next week, and I booked it, and the flight was the same day in the next 3 hours. And imagine in Bangalore, just in 10 minutes, I have to pack it with my kid. My husband was in the office, and I had to tell him, and I don't know how that was, but we reached on time and everything. So I would say that was really an adventure. I don't know what about others, but now since you asked me the adventure, that is a recent thing which comes to my mind.
Yeah, very interesting. Really adventure.
The Bangalore traffic, the
Yeah,
thing, and oh my god, I don't know, getting
agreed.
cab and then going, god.
Agreed. Agreed. Yeah. Here comes my next one. Like, what is your favorite failure?
Oh, okay. My favorite failure was being in school days. I would say, I was not vocal about my thoughts or feelings. I mean, I was not communicating what I felt or need, and that has been a great impact on my life. And that's when the transformation happened, and I worked, and here I am, just being in HR and connecting with having the deep connections. So that has been definitely my
Yeah.
failure, I would say that. Communication. So it's very important to work on your communication, be irrespective of any field.
Yeah. Good one. All right. Here comes a question which I've never asked so far to any of my guests in on this show. So, what did you use internet for 10 years ago?
Yes, now we are in 2021, right? 10 years. Of course, I was HR, right? I would have definitely used for HR jobs, templates, forms, being HR, and of course, applying for the better job because you just started. So, of course, at that point of time, I was just a junior. So, searching for various templates, recruitment, appointment letters, and those things is what.
All right, yeah, fair enough.
Apart
Here
from
comes my
that, on a kindly note, I would have been searching for groom also. I don't know.
yeah, fair enough. Yeah, moving to the next one. Do you believe in this extraterrestrial life, aliens kind of stuff?
Um, there could be possibility. I mean, who knows? There might be another life, or there could be. I mean, I have not explored to an extent, so I don't know. But I wouldn't say no. Also, I would say that there could be. You never know. There's an HR sitting that in the new future we might set up a new HR, and the way we are having the conversation interstate through Zoom, we might have to, different.
So here comes my last one for the rapid fire. What is the best gift that you have received from someone so far?
My best gift have always been my parents, my kids. I would say
Awesome.
that that's this.
Awesome. Awesome. So, yeah, thank you for being such a sport in the rapid fire round. I'll go back to the mainstream and ask you one final question for this conversation. What will be your one piece of advice to those aspiring to make big in their careers or lives?
So I would say, of course, believe in yourself and be you. Trust the wait, because let it be, it takes time, but embrace the opportunity wherever it comes to you and enjoy the beauty of becoming you. Because don't worry about the destination, but enjoy the way you are becoming, the way you are learning through various opportunities. And remember that when nothing is certain, anything is possible. I like the question as you mentioned, do you believe in extraterrestrial life? I said, as I mentioned, there could be any possibility. So when nothing is certain, anything could be possible. So just believe in yourself and be you.
Fabulous. When nothing is certain, anything is possible.
Yeah.
Wonderful. All right. So, Nimisha, this has been a fabulous conversation. And I would like to thank you again for being part of the Guiding Voice journey in shaping the careers and lives of millions across the globe. Thank you so much for taking time and really appreciate you.
Thank you, Naveen. And it was really a pleasure answering your wonderful questions. And it was a lot of excitement. And you have brought in the memories of the beaches and all, so I was looking forward to see something on that. But thank you and all the listeners. And sure, if you have any doubts or anything you want to reach in terms of mentoring, HR, and life, you can reach out to me. Happy to help. Thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah, thanks for offering that help. And folks, Nimisha's LinkedIn profile will be published along with her book on Amazon. Okay, all the details will be available in the show notes. So do check out them and enjoy the book. And if you have any feedback, connect with her. So it was great hosting you, Nimisha. All right. So, folks, it brings us to the trivia segment of today's episode. And today's trivia is about a mini game, right? Do you know that Google Chrome, the most widely used browser these days, has a hidden mini game? And the question is, what does that mini game involve, or what is that game all about? I know you are thinking, but let me tell you. This Google has added a T-Rex. Okay, T-Rex is one of the species slash breed related to dinosaur family, and this T-Rex side-scrolling mini game is added to Chrome Canary in mid 2014 and eventually introduced it to the browser's stable build. In case if you are accessing the internet or trying to surf various websites, but for whatever reason internet is not working, then can play this particular game. And in fact, there is an option to play the game despite having an internet connection. Just visit Chrome colon slash slash network hyphen error slash hyphen 106. Enjoy the game. Interesting, isn't it? Thank you for listening. There is more in store, folks. Stay tuned. Take care. Be safe. Until next time. Bye bye. And we are signing off for today. See you all in the next episode with another wonderful guest.